It's been a few weeks, but the Champions League is back. Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today welcome to my Game Week 3 predictions of the Champions League. It's been a few weeks since we last saw some Champions League action, but the Champions League is back, so make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into today's video. Okay then, and the first game comes from the Johan Cruyff Arena. It is Ajax of the Netherlands against Napoli of Italy. Now, Ajax, I don't really know what's going on with them lately. They've been doing awful in their last 3 games. They've lost their last 2. They lost, well, obviously, after their last win was on the 10th of September against SC Heerenveen in the league. And ever since then, they lost to Liverpool away in the Champions League. Then they lost to AZ Alkmaar, and on Saturday they drew 1-1 with Go Ahead Eagles. So it's not really going great at Ajax at the moment, but Napoli, they are on fire at the moment as they've won all their last 6 meetings, and 2 of them are Champions League games, a 4-1 win against Liverpool and the 3-0 win against Rangers. And funny, well, Napoli had no fans, so I think big credit, got a big win against AC Milan as well. So I'm not going to lie, Napoli are looking very, very strong coming into this game. Just looking at the players who are out, Osimhen's out for Napoli, which is a big loss. I don't think any key players are out for Ajax. But, Champions League nights at the Johan Cruyff Arena are amazing. And, Ajax and Ajax's attack, Tadic, Kudus and Bergwijn have been unreal. But Napoli, I watched the last game against Rangers, and to be honest, Napoli were just brilliant, I'm not going to lie. So for me, I'm going to say a 2-1 away win for Napoli. Ajax 1, Napoli 2, 2-1 to Napoli. Okay, then so the next game comes from Anfield, and this is probably the game of the round. It is the Battle of Britain. It is Liverpool against Rangers. And to be honest, I just cannot believe that an English team is playing a Scottish team this season in the Champions League. We've been crying for years, and it is finally happening. And to be honest, I think this will be a really, really good game of football. Liverpool, it's their first game in like 24 days. Liverpool, before the Brighton game, it was their first game in 24 days. And Liverpool drew 3-3 on the weekend with Brighton. Trossard got a hat-trick, 2 goals for Firmino and an own goal from Adam Webster. Rangers, on the other hand, absolutely smashing Hearts by 4-0. 2 goals for Antonio Trolloc, Morelos and Ryan Kent with goals. Rangers so far, though, in the Champions League, they're not doing great. They've lost both of their games and they've been battered quite heavily. They've conceded 7 goals so far in the Champions League, so it's not really going great. But I think in the last game, the first half. To be honest, I didn't watch. Well, to be fair, I've watched both of Rangers' Champions League games. I watched the game against Ajax, and I watched the Napoli game. Against Ajax, Rangers were battered. Napoli, Rangers got battered as well. But something tells me Rangers are going to get something out of this game. Because, Liverpool, they don't really look that good this season, even though they just managed to win their last Champions League game 2-1 against Ajax. And to be fair, Ajax, I thought they played really well in that game. But look at the ball. To be fair, both sides have got some big players out. Hadji's out for Rangers, Sutar, Robertson for Liverpool, Sands for Rangers, Lawrence for Rangers, Canate for Liverpool. So both teams are missing some big players coming into this huge clash at Anfield tomorrow. But for me, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think Rangers will take a draw, and obviously, I think Rangers will take a draw. So yeah, for me, I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Rangers 2. 2 apiece. I keep hearing loads of noises. But yeah, anyway, the next game, we're moving on to Group B, and it is Club Brugge against Atletico Madrid. Now, Club Brugge, they are on fire in the Champions League this season. Bruges are top of their Champions League group. For Atletico, on the other hand, they're not really doing that great at the moment. They're currently third, and they are sitting on 3 points, the same amount of points as Bayer Leverkusen. Atleti, they did win the last game 2-0 against Sevilla, which is a big result. Club Brugge, on the other hand, a 3-0 win against KV Mechelen. Club Brugge, their last Champions League game, they absolutely smashed FC Porto 4-0 away from home. So for me, I think we could see a shock. And for me, I'm going for a shock. Club Brugge 2, Atletico 1. Club Brugge are going to beat Atletico Madrid. Okay, then, and the next game comes from the Estadio Dragao. It is FC Porto against Bayer Leverkusen. Now, Porto are yet to pick up a single point in the Champions League. They are bottom on 0 points. So Porto, they really need to start. They need to kick going their Champions League season. Leverkusen are on the same amount of points as Atletico Madrid. But to be fair, Leverkusen haven't done well lately. They drew 1-1 to Werder Bremen, and then they lost 4-0 to Bayern Munich. But last Champions League match, a big 2-0 win at home to Atletico, which is a big result for them. Porto, I'm sorry to the Porto fans, but they got absolutely battered by Club Brugge. For me, I think this will be a bit of a close game. I think Porto are going to pick up their first points in the Champions League, but I'm going to go with a goalless draw. Porto 0, Leverkusen 0, 0-0. Okay, then now we move on to the next game. We're moving on to Group C. It is from the Allianz Arena as Bayern Munich face Victoria Pilsen. Now, obviously, of course, Victoria Pilsen have no points. They literally have to play Barca, Bayern and Inter. And to be honest, there's only one winner here. It's Bayern Munich. You know, they're top of the group at the moment. Bayern, last Champions League game, 2-0 win against Barcelona. They've won both of their games so far, 2-0 in the Champions League. They won 2-0 against Inter, and they won 2-0 against Barcelona. But for me, this is going to be more than 2-0. But to be fair, Pilsen did score at the Camp Nou, but they still got battered 5-1. So for me, I'm going to go with a big scoreline of Bayern Munich 6, Victoria Pilsen 0. I'm sorry, Victoria Pilsen fans, but you're going to get battered. Okay, then, and the next game comes from the San Siro. It's another big game. It's Inter against Barcelona. Now, obviously, this is third against second. Inter and Barca are level on points. And obviously, Bayern Munich, like I said, are top of the group. I think this will be a good game, to be honest. I thought Barcelona would get something against Bayern, which they didn't. But I think this game will be a bit. I think it'll be a good game, to be fair. You know, Inter with Dzeko, Martinez, Barella, Bastoni, Skriniar, and some other players. Barca, you know, with Lewandowski, Dembele, Rafinha, Xavi, Pedri, and you know, Ter Stegen in that. I think this will be a good game. I think this could be a good game, but you know, Inter haven't done well lately. Inter have lost their last 2 league games. They lost 3-1 against Udinese, and they lost 2-1 on the weekend against Roma. So Inter coming into this game needs to win. Obviously, last Champions League game was a 2-0 win away at Victoria Pilsen. Barcelona, obviously they lost against Bayern, but they've won the last 2 games. 3-0 against Elche and 1-0 on Saturday against Mallorca. For me, I'm going to go with a win for Barca. I think Barca will win their second game of the Champions League. So I'm going to go Inter Milan 0, Bayern Munich 3. Barcelona 3. I'm going to go 3-0 to Barcelona. Don't ask why I said Bayern Munich. Anyway, next game is Marseille against Sporting Lisbon at the Orange Velodrome. Now, obviously, it is bottom against top. Sporting are top of the group. And obviously, they've had a brilliant start so far. They beat my team in the last game. They won 2-0 against us. And, oh my God, I'm not going to lie. I think Sporting were brilliant, I'm not going to lie. And one player in particular, Marcus Edwards, you know, Pochettino said watch out for Edwards. He's very good. I think Trincao was amazing as well. But, oh my God, that's just embarrassing. Marseille, on the other hand, though, obviously, when they played us, Marseille actually gave us a good game, to be honest. Against Frankfurt, I didn't watch the game, so I can't comment on much. But I think this will be a decent game. Two good teams. Marseille, you know, the Marseille Ultra, the Marseille and Sporting fans will probably... Well, actually, I'm not sure if there's going to be any fans, because in the Marseille-Frankfurt game, the Marseille Ultras and the Frankfurt Ultras were literally throwing flares at each other back and forth. So I don't even know if there's going to be any fans at the game tomorrow. I'll have to find out, but I don't know, to be honest. For me, if there's going to be a crowd or not, I'm going to go with 2-2. I think Marseille will get their first points on the board. Sporting, you know, so far they are the best team in this group. Obviously, as they're top of the group. But yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Okay, then the next game, it is Frankfurt against Tottenham Hotspur. And to be honest, you may find me a bit weird, but I'm not really that confident coming into the game in Germany tomorrow. Even though obviously Frankfurt, obviously we are on the same amount of points as them. But to be honest, Frankfurt look a good team. And also we have an absolutely awful away record in the Champions League. We've lost our last 6 away games. And obviously one of them was against Sporting. And obviously we lost to Leipzig as well. And, you know, Bayern and that. And also Frankfurt, they've won the last 3 games. They beat Marseille, Stuttgart, and they beat Union Berlin. I'm not going to lie, Frankfurt are a really good team as well. You know, they got Mario Götze. I don't think he's actually playing tomorrow. So thank God about that. Oh yeah, he is playing. Oh, I forgot. Well, according to that. Oh yes, he is playing. Get in. But to be fair, not Marseille. Frankfurt actually have a really good team, and you know, Germany have some really good fans. I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, I have a feeling we're gonna lose, but I'll be optimistic. I can't say the word optimistic and say 2-2. 2-2. Okay, but now we move on to 2 seconds. Okay, now we move on to Wednesday's games, and the first game is RB Salzburg against Dinamo Zagreb. Now, obviously, this is third against second. Who would have thought these two teams were above Chelsea in their Champions League group? But yeah, to be fair, Salzburg and Zagreb have done well so far in the Champions League. Sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. It just stopped. It literally just stopped. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, obviously, Salzburg have drawn their game so far this season. They drew to Milan and they drew to Chelsea. So realistically, probably it's Salzburg who probably have a better chance of winning. But for me, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think Salzburg and Zagreb are two good teams, to be fair. So I'm going to go 1-0. Points to be shared. Okay, then, and the next game comes from Stamford Bridge. It is it's Graham Potter's Chelsea against AC Milan. Now, AC Milan, you know, obviously looking at them, they are obviously top of the Champions League group, but they do sit 4th at the moment in Serie A. They are, I think, 3 points behind Napoli, who are top of the league. Chelsea have no idea what's going on at the moment. They're bottom of the group, 1 point. And to be honest, it's not really going great for Chelsea in the Champions League this season. You know, they obviously lost to Zagreb. They drew to Salzburg. And, you know, if you can't beat them, how on earth are you going to beat AC Milan? AC Milan, they're a brilliant team, I'm not going to lie. They've got good players. But to be fair, half of the players are out injured. So that's kind of an advantage for Chelsea. But, you know, one player Chelsea have to stop. It's Rafael Leao. The guy is a baller. He's an absolute legend. He's just a baller. For me, I'm going to go 2-2. I think Chelsea will scrape a draw, but it'll be all Milan. But Chelsea will be looking at a draw. Anyway, the next game then is RB Leipzig against Celtic. And obviously, I'm not going to lie, Celtic, I did watch the draw against Shakhtar. Sorry about that. That's my sister saying, do you want your tea going in? But yeah, Anyway, as I was saying, I did watch Celtic last time out against Shakhtar, and I'm not going to lie, Celtic deserved to win. They were the better team in my opinion, Celtic. And coming into this game, they should be feeling confident. They should be feeling confident, to be fair, because Leipzig, form-wise, are not doing that great at the moment. Last 6 games, draw, loss, loss, win, loss, loss. 2 wins in the last 6 games, and they've lost 4 of them. And Leipzig have lost both Champions League games so far this season. So today, or tomorrow, Wednesday even, is a really massive opportunity for Celtic to get something. But I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Leipzig, they're a good team, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to go 2 apiece. I've predicted so many 2-2 draws today. But yeah, anyway, the next game comes from the Bernabeu. It is the Champions League holders, Real Madrid, against Shakhtar Donetsk of Ukraine. And obviously, these two have actually played each other before. And Shakhtar have actually beaten Real Madrid before. Well, to be fair, Shakhtar, they've actually beaten Real Madrid how many times? They've beaten Real Madrid 3 times, actually, I think. I think it's 3 times. No, sorry. Shakhtar have actually beaten Real Madrid twice. They have won at the Bernabeu before. It was 21st of October 2020. Shakhtar won 3-2. And obviously they won also in Donetsk as well. So that's before the war, obviously. Of course. But yeah, obviously, Real Madrid have won the last 2 meetings, though. In both Shakhtar and obviously in Madrid. Obviously, last time they played in Madrid, it was 2-1 to Real. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry, Shakhtar, but I think there's only one winner, and it's got to be Real Madrid. But Real Madrid yesterday, I think they drew to Osasuna, and Real Madrid got a penalty in the last minute. Well, it was near the last few minutes of the game. But I've just got it up now. They got a penalty in like the last 10 minutes, and they missed it. Benzema missed the penalty in the last 10 minutes, and also they ended up drawing 1-1. But to be fair, Shakhtar though, I don't think they were that great against Celtic. Real Madrid, obviously I watched the game against Celtic. Obviously they were brilliant in my opinion. Well, in the second half they were brilliant. But yeah, anyway, prediction they're going to go 4-1 Real Madrid. It's probably a bit harsh, but come on, it's Real Madrid. Anyway, the next game then is Manchester City against FC Copenhagen. And my God, what a day it was yesterday for Manchester City. A 6-3 win in the 188th Manchester derby. And I watched the game, and I'm not going to lie, the game was mad. And City were just absolutely brilliant. De Bruyne was brilliant. Bernardo Silva was brilliant. But the 2 people that ran the show, Phil Foden and Erling Haaland, they just ran the show for City. United just could not cope with them 2. In particular, Haaland. 3 goals and 2 assists. Not quite Simon Minter though, Haaland. Just got to get another assist to match up and play a bit better than him. But yeah, Copenhagen, we're not focusing on the Southampton game. But yeah, Copenhagen, obviously they won their last game 1-0 against AGF Apollos. But obviously, but to be fair, Copenhagen aren't doing great this season in the Champions League. 3-0 loss against Dortmund, 0-0 draw against Sevilla. And obviously, in Copenhagen, they played one of the big boys lately. They played one of the big boys recently, Michelin, which they lost 2-1. But for me, I'm sorry, Copenhagen, but you are going to get smashed. I'm saying it again, the second time in this video. Manchester City 6, FC Copenhagen 0. Sorry lads, but you're going to get battered. Anyway, so we now move on to the third to last game, and it is Sevilla against Borussia Dortmund. Now, obviously, this is 4th against 2nd. Sevilla, what is going on with them in the Champions League? They got battered by City, and they drew 0-0 with Copenhagen. What is going on? And what's going on at Dortmund as well? What's going on, to be honest, at both Sevilla and Borussia Dortmund? They've been awful lately. And obviously Dortmund, their next game is flipping Der Klassiker on Saturday. So they have to win this game to go into that Bayern game, to go into Der Klassiker with a bit of confidence. But for me, To be fair, though, I think both teams, they got some good players. Sevilla, Eric Lamela. Who else have they got in their team? Sevilla. Jesus Corona plays for them. I'm just going to look now, actually. Jesus Navas. They've got Rakitic, Juan Jordan, Delaney. And, Dortmund, they've got good players as well. Emre Can, Guerrero, Sula, Bellingham. Who else they got? They got Malin, Ayadimi, Gio Reyna. They got good players in their team, to be fair. Dortmund. So for me, I'm going again. Sevilla 2, Dortmund 2. I think that's like the 5th time in this video I've predicted a 2-2 draw. But yeah, I think there'll be goals, but I'm going to go 2-2. Okay, right now we move on to the second to last game, and it's kind of I think this game is quite underrated. Benfica against PSG at the Estadio de Sport Lisboa, or whatever, known as the Estadio de Luz, whatever. But yeah, Benfica, last game, well, to be fair, Benfica, they are on fire. Benfica are on fire. This is a Zach Tominski fact. This is including pre-season. Benfica are yet to lose this season. They've won, so this is including their pre-season games. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 games! That's including pre-season. Also, they got 1 draw as they drew 0-0 with Victoria de Guimaraes. But 18 games! 18 games won, 1 draw, 0 losses. That is incredible. And it only maybe be the Portuguese league, but all of you lot will say, oh, it's a Farmers League. It's actually not a Farmers League, to be fair. The Portuguese league is actually a decent league, to be honest. But Benfica, I've said it to Cody, they are an underrated team. I really rate Benfica. They are massively underrated. They beat Juventus in Turin, for crying out loud. And I'm not going to lie, they could shock PSG, because 18 wins and 1 draw, that is insane. That is insane. But yeah, PSG on the other hand, though. PSG, they're on fire as well. They've lost... Oh, is this into last season as well? Oh, that's all into last season. 2 seconds. Let me find this season. This season... There we go. But so far this season, PSG are unbeaten this season. They've won every single game this season. They haven't won every single game. They've drew 1, and that was against Monaco. So this game, both teams are yet to lose this season. So you never know. It could be a draw, or one of them, their unbeaten streak is going to come to an end. And I'm sorry, but I think PSG will be too much for Benfica. Messi, Mbappe, Neymar. For me, I think Benfica, they'll go for it. But I'm sorry, I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for PSG. But come on, Benfica. Because, yeah. Anyway, the final game then is Juventus versus Maccabi Haifa. Now, Maccabi Haifa, now what a moment it was. They scored their first Champions League goal in 12 years. So, big up. And they took the lead against PSG, big up. But they're not doing that great at the moment. Juventus not doing that great either. So they lost 2-1 to Benfica, which is not a good result at all. But they won yesterday 3-0 against Bologna, and that's a big win as well. Obviously, it'll be a big win if they win on Wednesday. Also, they got a big game against AC Milan coming up. But yeah, it probably will happen though. But Maccabi Haifa, you never know. Don't underestimate them. They scored against PSG. I wanted them to win, but obviously PSG, yeah. For me, I'm going to go 3-0 Juventus. I think Juventus will keep a clean sheet. So yeah, 3-0 Juve. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time for game week 4 of the Champions League predictions. Adios! And yeah, come on Tottenham for the game against Frankfurt.